can spend a little bit of time with sharing with our audience. So we're going to share this power principle called how to find hidden opportunities for your business. So the power principle starts with a line on the bottom, and that represents today, and you're sitting on this line today. That's your starting point, right? So today. And I want you to imagine another point in time 2 years in the future, right? So we have a line 2 years out that's 2 years in the future. And where you're standing today on that starting point, you're going to look out and imagine the opportunities that are available to you in the future for the next 2 years. And these lines, these two lines that you have, it looks a little bit like a flashlight. And they represent your best thinking, but they also represent your limits, right? Because you're limited in this case by the stuff that's between your ears. It's what you know, what you think, your experience, etc. That's all you got. That's all you have. So no matter who you are, where you are, success, unsuccess, whatever, you all have this thing, and you have the sets of limits. Okay. So now let's imagine you're standing at a point 2 years in the future, and you're looking back. And when you're looking back, you have that same kind of flashlight view, right? But you'll understand, what you'll notice here is that there's a couple triangles, right, that we just highlighted in green that represent hidden opportunities and hidden possibilities. And another way to understand that is that whenever we looked at in the future and we look back, we say, gosh, if I'd only known then what I know now, right?
Right.
And if you had known then what you know now, right? And if your base, your starting point was wider than that single place where you are today, if you were as wide as those two triangles, right? Then your view, the same peripheral view would reach out again, right? But now your results are significantly greater, right? Because the initial view, small triangle, small results, often from a business standpoint, that represents money. But the new view is almost 3 times as wide. And the whole key to this, right, is figuring out about those possibilities and those opportunities. What are those things, right? Because we don't know what they are. So we have to put ourselves in a position to do that. We have to talk about why we should do that, right? Well, why is because those results are a lot bigger than the initial set of results. Okay?
Makes total sense.
And so let's talk about that. If you take this model and you're looking at your business today, and there's you and there's your employees, and everybody can benefit from this particular model, how much time should you spend on a weekly basis? You can't do this all day, every day. You have a business to run, right? But thinking about new stuff, right? If you don't give yourself some time to think about some new stuff, probably not going to happen.
Well, it's a great question. I think back to when we transitioned from sort of an old school management style to this lean, this idea about lean and how to manage our business this way. And there were all these objectives that had to take place, helping people learn how to think, developing visual management tools, keeping order while in somewhat chaos, because while we have all these new ideas and being implemented, how do we keep order around that and make sure that things are working and we're just not confusing activity with accomplishment? We learned some tough lessons, very early on.
Wow.
And thinking back to it, we probably could have spent 30 or 40% of our time trying to figure out what those challenges were going to be before they actually came to us, and figuring out those solutions in advance. So it's a really, really great point.
So that's a lot of time. But today, you and your team, and in fact these employees that you are empowering to take charge, right? They need to spend a little bit of time. Now they probably can't spend 30 or 40% of their week. It's a lot of hours. They got to be on the floor. They got to be delivering products and services. But they need to spend some time. So what do you think?
Well, it's hard to put a number on, but it's certainly significant. Finding time, and I think we've done this pretty well over the years, but knowing the difference between working in the business and working on the business, I think is critical in any success formula.
Well, and this is what you're asking your employees, to work on the business instead of in the business for a little bit of time.
Yes.
So when we started this show, it was called 30 Minutes to Better Business Results. And the whole idea was that if you give me 30 minutes, we'll come up with 3 action items that you can do to make your business better, right? So literally, if you only spend 30 minutes a week, in a format, right? Now, in this case, you're 30 minutes with me. I'm going to introduce some new ideas and some new concepts so that we're going to stimulate some thinking so you can generate those three ideas, right? But you could do it in as less as 30 minutes. Or maybe it's an hour, right? But it doesn't have to be a lot. And then the question is, can we find a way to carve out 30 minutes, 45 minutes, or an hour? And the answer is probably yes, especially when it comes to improvement. When we improve our business by 3 action items a week, if we were able to do that, you're looking at almost 150 business improvement, working on your business improvement type items.